Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a game of chance. It is a structured battle between order and chaos, discipline and complacency. The habits you cultivate today, right now, are the foundation upon which your future will stand. You don't stumble into success. No, you forge it through deliberate action, through responsibility, through the small but profound choices you make every single day. Winning habits are not just about efficiency or productivity. They are about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts success. They shape your character, refine your discipline, and place you on a path where opportunities are not merely given, but earned. So tonight, let's talk about these habits, not just in theory, but in practice. Let's talk about how small changes can transform your trajectory, how responsibility outweighs fleeting motivation, and how you can become the architect of your own success. Are you ready? Because success isn't waiting. It's yours to take. Responsibility is the foundation upon which all success is built. It is the recognition that your life is shaped not by luck or external circumstances alone, but by your own choices, actions, and mindset. When you take full responsibility, you stop blaming others, your past, or the world for your situation. Instead, you begin to see yourself as the primary force in your own life, capable of shaping your destiny through deliberate action. This shift in perspective is not just empowering. It is essential for long-term success. People who refuse to take responsibility often find themselves stuck in cycles of frustration, disappointment, and stagnation. They attribute their failures to external factors, whether it be their upbringing, society, the economy, or other people. While external challenges are real and should not be ignored, dwelling on them as excuses only strips away personal agency. Success is not about avoiding challenges, but about responding to them with accountability and determination. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems or for circumstances to become ideal. You step forward and take action, no matter how imperfect or challenging the situation may be. One of the most powerful aspects of taking responsibility is that it transforms problems into opportunities for growth. When you view every difficulty as a test of character, you begin to see setbacks not as failures, but as lessons. A person who takes responsibility for their mistakes does not dwell in self-pity. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and move forward with greater wisdom. This mindset shift is what separates successful individuals from those who remain stuck. Instead of seeing problems as barriers, they see them as stepping stones to higher levels of competence and achievement. Taking responsibility also means taking control of your habits and behaviors. Many people want success, but they do not take full responsibility for the daily actions that lead to it. They wish for better health, but do not take ownership of their diet and exercise. They dream of financial success, but fail to manage the greedy and investing habits. They desire meaningful relationships, but do not take responsibility for improving their communication, patience, or emotional intelligence. Without responsibility, desires remain just that, wishes without substance. Responsibility turns wishes into plans and plans into results. Another key aspect of responsibility is the acceptance of reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Many people fall into the trap of avoiding responsibility by denying the truth about their situation. They tell themselves comforting lies about why they are not where they want to be. They blame luck, genetics, or fate instead of confronting the uncomfortable reality that their own choices have played a significant role. This kind of self-deception is a dangerous road because it keeps people trapped in a cycle of inaction. When you take responsibility, you develop the courage to face reality with clarity. You acknowledge where you are, identify the factors within your control, and take decisive steps to improve. Responsibility also extends to how you respond to external events. While you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you react. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will arise. Some people allow hardships to break them, using adversity as an excuse to give up. Others take responsibility for their response, adapting and finding ways to move forward despite difficulties. This resilience is what allows people to turn failures into comebacks and losses into learning experiences. Taking responsibility is not about guilt or self-blame. It is about ownership. No, it is the ability to say, this is my life and I will shape it. When you embrace this mindset, you stop waiting for permission to succeed. You stop seeking validation from others. You stop making excuses for why you are not where you want to be. Instead, you take action. You set goals, make plans, develop skills, and work relentlessly toward improvement. This sense of ownership gives you a level of control over your life that most people never experience. One of the most common barriers to taking responsibility is fear. Many people avoid responsibility because they fear failure. They fear making the wrong decision, looking foolish, or facing the consequences of their actions. But avoiding responsibility does not eliminate these fears. It only reinforces them. The more you avoid responsibility, the weaker you become. The more you embrace it, the stronger you grow. Taking responsibility forces you to confront your fears head on, and in doing so, you develop the confidence and competence necessary for success. Another important element of responsibility is self-discipline. Once you take responsibility for your life, you realize that success is not about grand gestures, but about consistent, disciplined effort. It is about waking up every day and doing the work, even when you do not feel like it. It is about choosing the difficult but necessary path over the easy but unproductive one. People who take responsibility understand that discipline is not a burden. It is a tool that gives them freedom. The freedom to achieve their goals, to create the life they want, and to break free from the limitations that hold others back. When you take full responsibility, you become the kind of person who naturally attracts success. You develop a reputation for reliability and competence. People respect those who take ownership of their actions, and opportunities tend to flow toward those who can be trusted to handle them. Employers, business partners, and mentors are drawn to individuals who do not make excuses, but take initiative. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of success. When you take responsibility, the world responds in kind. Taking responsibility is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to let go of excuses, and the courage to face challenges directly. But the rewards are immense. When you fully own your actions, habits, and responses, you unlock a level of power that most people never experience. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstance, you become the architect of your own life. Instead of waiting for success, you create it. Discipline is the bridge between ambition and achievement. It is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Many people chase motivation, hoping that inspiration alone will carry them to success. But motivation is fleeting. It is unreliable. It comes and goes based on moods, circumstances, and external influences. Discipline, on the other hand, is consistent. It is the internal force that keeps you moving forward, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Without discipline, talent is wasted, goals remain unfulfilled, and potential goes unrealized. Discipline is about structure. It is about creating systems and routines that ensure progress, even in the absence of motivation. Successful people do not rely on their feelings to determine their actions. They understand that feelings are temporary, but disciplined action leads to lasting results. A person who has mastered discipline does not wait for the perfect conditions to start working. They do not make excuses about why they cannot take action. They simply do what needs to be done consistently and without complaint. One of the defining characteristics of discipline is the ability to delay gratification. Most people seek immediate rewards, choosing comfort over growth, pleasure over progress. They fall into the trap of short-term thinking, making decisions based on what feels good right now, rather than What will lead to long-term success? Discipline requires the opposite approach. It demands the ability to sacrifice temporary comfort in exchange for greater rewards down the road. This is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Developing discipline starts with small daily decisions. It is not about making drastic changes overnight, but about consistently choosing the harder but better path. It is waking up early instead of hitting the snooze button. It is sticking to your workout routine, even when you don't feel like it. It is choosing to work on your goals instead of wasting time on distractions. Every disciplined decision strengthens your self-control, making it easier to maintain discipline in the future. Over time, these small decisions compound, leading to significant progress. One of the most effective ways to develop discipline is to create structured routines. When you have a set plan for your day, you eliminate the need for constant decision-making. Decision fatigue is one of the biggest threats to discipline. The more choices you have to make throughout the day, the more likely you are to choose the easier, less productive option. By establishing routines, you remove the element of choice from important tasks. You don't have to decide whether to exercise, work on your business, or read a book. You simply follow the routine you have set for yourself. Another critical aspect of discipline is self-control. Many people struggle with distractions, procrastination, and impulse decisions because they have not trained themselves to resist temptations. The modern world is filled with endless sources of distraction, social media, entertainment, instant gratification. Without discipline, it is easy to fall into these traps, wasting time and energy on activities that do not contribute to success. A disciplined person understands the importance of focus. They create an environment that minimizes distractions, setting clear boundaries to protect their time and energy. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Many people give up on their goals because they expect perfection from themselves. The moment they slip up, they feel like they have failed and abandoned their efforts. This mindset is destructive. Discipline is about getting back on track no matter how many times you stumble. It is about building resilience, recognizing that setbacks are part of the journey and refusing to let them derail progress. A disciplined person does not let one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad week turn into a bad month. They acknowledge their mistakes, adjust their approach, and continue moving forward. Building discipline requires mental toughness. It is easy to follow through on commitments when things are going well, but true discipline is tested in moments of struggle. When you are tired, stressed, or discouraged, discipline is what keeps you on track. It is what separates those who push through adversity from those who give up. Mental toughness is developed through experience by consistently choosing to do the hard things, even when you don't want to. Each time you push through discomfort, you strengthen your ability to persevere in the future. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it is restrictive. Many people resist discipline because they see it as limiting their freedom. In reality, discipline creates freedom. It gives you control over your life, allowing you to build the future you want. Without discipline, you are at the mercy of your impulses, distractions, and external circumstances. And you become reactive rather than proactive, constantly drifting instead of deliberately moving toward your goals. When you develop discipline, you gain control over your actions, habits, and outcomes, giving you the ability to shape your own destiny. While talent, intelligence, and luck all play a role in success, none of them can replace discipline. A person with average talent but strong discipline will outperform a highly talented person who lacks self-control. Hard work, consistency, and perseverance will always yield better results than raw potential that is never fully developed. This is why discipline is one of the most valuable traits a person can cultivate. It is the foundation upon which all other success-building habits are built. Setting clear goals is one of the most powerful habits that separates successful individuals from those who struggle to make progress. Without clear goals, people drift aimlessly, reacting to life rather than shaping it. A well-defined goal provides direction, focus, and a sense of purpose. It serves as a roadmap guiding actions and decisions toward meaningful outcomes. When goals are vague or undefined, it becomes easy to waste time and energy on activities that do not contribute to long-term success. Clarity in goal setting allows individuals to channel their efforts toward productive actions rather than distractions. One of the most important aspects of setting clear goals is specificity. A vague goal like I want to be successful or I want to be healthier lacks clarity and measurable criteria. A clear goal, on the other hand, is specific, detailed, and actionable. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, a specific goal would be, I will exercise for 30 minutes 5 times a week and follow a structured meal plan to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Specific goals create a clear target to aim for, making it easier to track progress and stay accountable. When a goal is not specific, it becomes difficult to measure success or determine whether any progress is being made. Another critical factor in effective goal setting is making goals measurable. Without a way to measure progress, it is impossible to know whether one is moving closer to success. Measurable goals allow for tracking results and making necessary adjustments along the way. This is why successful individuals often set key performance indicators or benchmarks to evaluate their progress. A goal without a measurable component is simply a wish, lacking the structure needed to turn it into reality. By defining clear metrics, individuals can assess their progress and make data-driven decisions to stay on track. Setting realistic and achievable goals is also essential. While ambition is valuable, setting goals that are too far beyond reach can lead to frustration and discouragement. A goal should be challenging enough to promote growth, but not so overwhelming that it feels impossible. Breaking large goals into smaller, manageable steps can make them more achievable. Instead of focusing solely on a distant outcome, setting short-term milestones provides motivation and a sense of accomplishment along the way. These smaller victories build confidence and momentum, making it easier to stay committed to long-term success. A strong goal is also time-bound, meaning it has a deadline for completion. Without a time frame, goals tend to lose urgency, leading to procrastination and a lack of commitment. A time-bound goal creates a sense of urgency and accountability. Deadlines help structure priorities and force action. If there is no deadline, there is no pressure to take immediate steps, and the goal often remains an unfulfilled aspiration. By assigning a specific timeline, individuals can focus their energy and create a clear plan for achieving their objectives within a set period. Another key element of goal setting is aligning goals with personal values and long-term vision. Many people set goals based on external expectations rather than what truly matters to them. When a goal is not aligned with personal values or passions, motivation tends to fade quickly. Success is not just about achieving random milestones. It is about achieving goals that contribute to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Before setting a goal, it is important to ask whether it aligns with one's deeper purpose. If a goal is in conflict with personal values, even achieving it will not lead to lasting satisfaction. Writing down goals significantly increases the likelihood of achieving them. The act of writing turns an abstract idea into a tangible commitment. It forces clarity and reinforces commitment. Successful people do not keep their goals in their minds. They document them, review them regularly, and adjust them when necessary. A written goal serves as a constant reminder, keeping it at the forefront of daily actions and decisions. Reviewing goals consistently helps maintain focus and ensures that efforts remain aligned with the desired outcome. Accountability is another important aspect of goal setting. When goals are kept private, it is easy to make excuses and avoid taking action. Sharing goals with a mentor, coach, or trusted friend creates a level of external accountability that increases commitment Accountability partners provide support, encouragement, and constructive feedback. They help keep individuals on track and provide motivation during moments of doubt or difficulty. Publicly committing to a goal adds an extra layer of responsibility, making it more likely to follow through. Flexibility is also crucial when pursuing goals. While setting a clear goal is important, rigidity can be counterproductive. Circumstances change, new opportunities arise, and unexpected challenges can emerge. Being adaptable allows individuals to adjust their approach while staying committed to the overall objective. Successful individuals do not abandon their goals at the first sign of difficulty. They refine their strategies and find new ways to overcome obstacles. The ability to reassess and make necessary adjustments is a key trait of those who consistently achieve their goals. Visualization and mental rehearsal can enhance goal achievement. Many high achievers use visualization techniques to mentally see themselves accomplishing their goals. This process strengthens belief and reinforces motivation. When individuals vividly imagine success, they create a stronger emotional connection to their goals, increasing the likelihood of taking action. The mind responds to mental imagery in powerful ways, making visualization a valuable tool in goal achievement. Combining visualization with consistent action creates a strong foundation for success. Persistence is essential in reaching goals. Setting a goal is the easy part. Staying committed through challenges and setbacks is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Obstacles are inevitable, but they should not be seen as reasons to quit. Each challenge provides an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine strategies. Those who achieve their goals understand that setbacks are temporary and that persistence is the key to long-term success. The ability to push forward despite difficulties is one of the most defining traits of successful individuals. Resilience is the ability to withstand adversity, recover from setbacks, and keep moving forward despite difficulties. It is one of the most important traits for success because no path to achievement is free from obstacles. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will arise, whether they come in the form of failures, disappointments, criticism, or unforeseen circumstances. Those who succeed are not necessarily the ones who avoid hardship, but the ones who develop the inner strength to face it head on. Resilience is what allows individuals to adapt, learn from failures, and persist in the face of adversity. One of the key aspects of resilience is having the right mindset. Many people view challenges as signs that they are not meant to succeed, but resilient individuals see challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of interpreting setbacks as permanent failures, they view them as temporary obstacles that can be overcome with effort and determination. This shift in perspective makes a significant difference in how one responds to difficulties. A person who believes that challenges are meant to strengthen them will find ways to push forward, while someone who sees challenges as roadblocks will be more likely to give up. Developing resilience requires an acceptance of failure as part of the process. Many people fear failure to the point that they avoid taking risks altogether. However, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary component of it. Every successful person has encountered failure at some point, but what sets them apart is their ability to learn from it. Resilient individuals do not dwell on their mistakes or allow them to define their self-worth. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and use their experiences to improve. This willingness to embrace failure as a learning experience is what enables continuous growth and progress. Emotional control is another critical factor in resilience. When faced with adversity, it is easy to become overwhelmed by emotions such as frustration, disappointment, or self-doubt. Resilient individuals do not allow their emotions to dictate their actions. Instead, they practice self-awareness and self-regulation, recognizing their feelings without letting them interfere with their ability to make rational decisions. Emotional control allows them to respond to challenges with clarity and composure, rather than reacting impulsively or giving in to negativity. By maintaining a level-headed approach, they can navigate difficulties more effectively. Another essential component of resilience is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and rigid thinking can be a major obstacle to success. Those who are unable to adjust their plans or strategies when circumstances shift often struggle to overcome setbacks. Resilient individuals understand that flexibility is key. When faced with an unexpected challenge, they assess the situation, reevaluate their approach, and make the necessary changes. They do not cling to a single way of doing things, but remain open to new possibilities and alternative solutions. This adaptability allows them to continue making progress even when their original plans do not work out as expected. Resilience is also built through a strong sense of purpose. When individuals have a clear understanding of why they are pursuing their goals, they are more likely to stay committed even when things get difficult. A strong sense of purpose provides motivation and determination, serving as a driving force that keeps them moving forward. When setbacks occur, they remind themselves of the bigger picture and refuse to let temporary difficulties derail their progress. Having a compelling reason to persist makes it easier to maintain resilience in the face of challenges. Support systems play a significant role in building resilience. While resilience is often thought of as an individual trait, it is strengthened through relationships with others. Having a network of supportive people, whether they be mentors, friends, family, or colleagues, provides encouragement, guidance, and perspective during difficult times. Resilient individuals do not isolate themselves when they face challenges. They seek advice, learn from others, and use external support to help them navigate obstacles. Surrounding oneself with people who reinforce a positive and determined mindset can make a significant difference in the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Physical and mental well-being contribute to resilience as well. When the body and mind are well cared for, individuals are better equipped to handle stress and adversity. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient sleep all play a role in maintaining the energy and focus needed to overcome challenges. Well-being is equally important, and practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help build emotional resilience. Taking care of oneself physically and mentally provides the strength needed to face difficulties with a clear and determined mindset. Problem-solving skills are another crucial element of resilience. When confronted with obstacles, some people become overwhelmed and see no way forward. Resilient individuals, however, focus on finding solutions. Instead of fixating on the problem, they break it down into smaller components, analyze potential options, and take decisive action. They understand that every challenge has a solution, even if it requires creativity and persistence to find it. So, the ability to approach problems with a constructive mindset allows them to move past obstacles rather than becoming stuck. Optimism and a positive outlook contribute to resilience as well. While challenges are inevitable, the way they are perceived makes a difference in how they are handled. Resilient individuals focus on what they can control rather than what they cannot. They maintain a belief that things will improve and that they have the capability to navigate difficulties. This optimism does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that setbacks are not difficult. Rather, it means maintaining faith in the ability to overcome them. A positive mindset creates the mental strength needed to persist through adversity. Taking responsibility for one's actions and circumstances is also a key aspect of resilience. When faced with setbacks, some people blame external factors and see themselves as victims of circumstance. Resilient individuals, however, take ownership of their situation. They recognize that while they may not have control over everything, they do have control over how they respond. Instead of waiting for things to improve on their own, They take proactive steps to address challenges and move forward. This sense of personal responsibility empowers them to take action rather than feeling helpless. Consistency is the foundation upon which all success is built. It is not talent, luck, or intelligence that determines long-term achievement, but rather the ability to show up and put in the work day after day, regardless of circumstances. Many people start strong, full of enthusiasm and excitement, but when the initial motivation fades, they lose momentum. Those who succeed understand that results do not come from bursts of effort, but from sustained, disciplined action over time. Consistency is what turns small daily efforts into massive accomplishments. One of the most important aspects of consistency is developing strong habits. People do not rise to the level of their goals, they fall to the level of their habits. Habits shape daily actions, determine long-term success. If someone consistently engages in productive behaviors, whether it be exercising, reading, working on personal development, or honing a skill, those small efforts accumulate over time. Conversely, if someone repeatedly engages in negative or unproductive behaviors, those patterns also compound, leading to stagnation or failure. The key is to establish habits that align with long-term goals and to commit to them without exception. Momentum is built through consistency. When a person commits to a process and follows through consistently, progress becomes easier. Each action reinforces the next, making effort feel more natural. On the other hand, inconsistency breaks momentum and makes progress much harder to regain. When an individual works on a goal sporadically, starting and stopping repeatedly, they never build the momentum necessary to achieve lasting success. This is why so many people struggle to reach their goals. They expect immediate results and give up when they do not see them quickly. The reality is that significant progress takes time, and only through sustained effort does success become inevitable. Consistency also develops self-discipline and mental toughness. Many people rely on motivation to take action, but motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates based on emotions, energy levels, and external circumstances. Discipline, however, remains steady. When a person commits to consistency, they learn to act regardless of how they feel. They push forward on the days they do not feel like working, training, or improving. This self-discipline creates a powerful sense of control and confidence, reinforcing the belief that they can rely on themselves to take action no matter what. The ability to stay consistent, even when conditions are not ideal, separates high achievers from those who fall short. Another key benefit of consistency is that it eliminates decision fatigue. When people leave their actions up to daily choice, they expend unnecessary mental energy deciding whether or not to do something. This leads to excuses, procrastination, and inconsistency. When habits and routines are established, action becomes automatic. A person does not have to decide whether to work out, study, or make progress on a project. It simply becomes part of their daily routine. This structured approach removes the temptation to skip important tasks, making consistency much easier to maintain. Consistency builds credibility and trust, both personally and professionally. In any field, people who are dependable and consistent earn the respect and confidence of others. Whether it is in business, relationships, or personal development, consistency signals commitment and reliability. Employers value employees who consistently deliver results. Customers trust businesses that consistently provide quality service. So relationships thrive when people consistently show up, communicate, and invest time in them. In contrast, those who are unpredictable or inconsistent struggle to build trust, leading to missed opportunities and weakened relationships. Mastery and expertise are developed through consistency. No one becomes great at anything overnight. Whether it is developing a skill, building a business, or achieving fitness goals, progress comes from repeated effort over time. Athletes train daily, musicians practice relentlessly, and successful entrepreneurs work on their businesses every single day. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is not talent alone, but the willingness to put in consistent work. Small daily improvements may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they lead to extraordinary results. Consistency also strengthens resilience and perseverance. When a person commits to consistent action, they develop the ability to push through obstacles and challenges. Success is rarely a straight path. Setbacks and difficulties are inevitable. Those who lack consistency often quit at the first sign of resistance, while those who stay committed find ways to adjust and continue moving forward. By showing up consistently even during tough times, individuals build the mental strength necessary to navigate challenges and stay on track toward their goals. A key part of maintaining consistency is managing expectations. Many people struggle with consistency because they expect instant results. When they do not see progress immediately, they become discouraged and abandon their efforts. However, real success takes time. Understanding that results compound over months and years rather than days or weeks allows individuals to stay committed for the long haul. Consistency is about trusting the process even when immediate results are not visible. The people who achieve lasting success are those who persist long enough to reap the rewards of their efforts. Creating accountability can also help maintain consistency. When goals are shared with others, whether through a mentor, a coach, or a supportive community, there is an added layer of responsibility. Knowing that others are aware of commitments creates a sense of obligation to follow through. Tracking progress and setting small milestones can also reinforce consistency by providing a sense of achievement along the way. Even minor progress reinforces the habit of showing up and putting in effort, making it easier to stay committed over time. Consistency requires eliminating distractions and unnecessary complexity. Many people struggle with consistency because they spread their attention too thin, trying to juggle too many priorities at once. Simplifying goals and focusing on a few key areas allows for deeper commitment and sustained effort. When individuals try to take on too much at once, they often burn out or become overwhelmed, leading to inconsistency. Prioritizing and simplifying makes it easier to remain consistent and achieve meaningful progress. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it creates a sense of identity. When a person commits to daily action, they begin to see themselves differently. A person who consistently exercises starts to view themselves as an athlete. A person who writes every day begins to see themselves as a writer. Identity and consistency are deeply connected. When actions are repeated long enough, they shape self-perception. Success is not just about what a person does, it is about who they become in the process. Surrounding oneself with the right people is one of the most crucial factors in achieving long-term success. The environment in which a person operates directly influences their mindset, habits, and overall trajectory. No one succeeds in isolation. Success is often the result of being in the right company, among individuals who inspire, challenge, and support growth. The people one interacts with daily shape beliefs, attitudes, and even behaviors. If someone is consistently surrounded by negativity, doubt, or complacency, it becomes far more difficult to maintain motivation and ambition. On the other hand, when an individual surrounds themselves with driven, positive, and forward-thinking people, their own standards and expectations naturally rise. One of the biggest benefits of being around the right people is the power of influence. Humans are social creatures, and whether consciously or unconsciously, they absorb the attitudes, language, and behaviors of those around them. If an individual spends time with people who complain, make excuses, and settle for mediocrity, they are more likely to adopt those tendencies. However, if they are consistently around people who take action, push themselves, and refuse to accept limitations, those traits will start to become their own. The saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," is not just a cliche, It is a psychological reality. The influence of others is strong, and it is essential to choose that influence wisely. Another advantage of surrounding oneself with the right people is accountability. It is easy to make excuses when no one is watching, but when an individual is part of a high-performing circle, they are more likely to hold themselves to higher standards. Being surrounded by people who expect excellence creates an environment where mediocrity is not an option. When individuals share their goals and aspirations with the right people, they create a level of external accountability that keeps them on track. Knowing that others are paying attention to their progress adds an extra layer of motivation to follow through on commitments. Having the right people around also provides access to valuable knowledge and experience. No one has all the answers, and success often requires learning from those who have already achieved what one aspires. Being in the presence of mentors, experts, or individuals who have walked the path before allows for the acquisition of insights that would take years to discover alone. Learning from others' successes and failures accelerates growth and minimizes unnecessary mistakes. High achievers seek out relationships that provide wisdom and perspective, understanding that success leaves clues, and that studying the habits of successful individuals is one of the fastest ways to replicate their achievements. Support is another crucial aspect of being in the right environment. The journey to success is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. During difficult times, the encouragement and belief of others can make the difference between giving up and pushing forward. Having a network of people who offer constructive feedback, encouragement, and guidance provides the resilience needed to keep moving forward. When surrounded by individuals who genuinely want to see them succeed, a person gains the confidence to take risks and pursue ambitious goals. The right support system reinforces the belief that obstacles can be overcome and that failure is simply a part of the learning process. Being around the right people also cultivates a competitive and growth-oriented mindset. When individuals are in an environment where excellence is the standard, they naturally push themselves harder. Friendly competition and the pursuit of improvement become the norm rather than the exception. In high-achieving circles, complacency is not tolerated, and there is a constant drive to do better. This environment fosters ambition, creativity, and a relentless pursuit of progress. Being around those who challenge one to think bigger and aim higher is one of the most effective ways to unlock untapped potential. A key part of surrounding oneself with the right people is eliminating toxic relationships. Negative, energy-draining individuals can hinder progress and create self-doubt. People who constantly criticize, discourage, or belittle others do not contribute to success. They hold others back. While it may be difficult, distancing oneself from those who bring negativity is essential for personal growth. Removing toxic influences makes room for relationships that uplift, inspire, and contribute to a greater sense of purpose. The company a person keeps should reflect their aspirations, not their fears. Networking and actively seeking out the right people is a strategic effort. Success does not happen by accident, and neither does finding the right social circle. Attending events, joining professional or personal development groups, and engaging with like-minded individuals creates opportunities to build meaningful connections. The right people are often found in environments dedicated to growth, learning, and progress. Whether through mentorship, collaboration, or simply association, actively seeking out those who align with one's values and goals is a necessary step in the journey to success. One of the most valuable aspects of being around the right people is exposure to new ideas and perspectives. Growth requires the ability to think beyond current limitations and consider different viewpoints. Being in diverse, intellectually stimulating environments fosters creativity, problem solving, and innovation. Conversations with forward-thinking individuals spark insights that may not have emerged in isolation. Expanding one's circle to include those with different experiences and expertise broadens horizons and opens doors to opportunities that may not have been previously considered. The right people not only provide external motivation, but also help reinforce a strong self-image. When an individual is constantly exposed to conversations about success, discipline, and ambition, those ideas become ingrained in their own self-perception. They begin to see themselves as capable, competent, and worthy of achieving great things. This shift in identity fuels confidence and action. Surrounding oneself with those who embody the characteristics of success makes those same characteristics feel attainable and natural. Being in the right company also instills a sense of responsibility and contribution. High-achieving individuals do not just seek to gain from their relationships, they also give back. The best relationships are mutually beneficial, where both parties bring value to each other. Those who understand the importance of surrounding themselves with the right people also understand the importance of being the right person for others. By embodying the traits they seek in others, integrity, ambition, and a commitment to growth, they attract similar individuals into their lives, creating a cycle of continuous improvement and shared success.